has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. You're going to love it. You can watch the network on there. You can listen to the network on there. It's got the TV and radio, both sides. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High, and it's got in-game odds, stories, videos, highlights, everything. The SportsGrid app, get it today on iOS or Android. You're going to love it. It's free. Don't forget, we're streaming on X every day, all day, right now, as a matter of fact. Just go to SportsGrid-Live. You can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcast, both of them, every day on Apple iTunes. Monday through Friday, they're available. The 3-hour full broadcast of C2C and then the daily look around the leagues and sports and scores and games and what's on the table every night on Ferrall on a Bench. So check those out. The lineup for tonight on SportsGrid TV at 6 o'clock Eastern after this very show. It's Game Time Decisions, GTD with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, from 6 to 8. From 8 to 10, it's the legendary In-Game Live with Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. Opposite picks in the Sportsbook Consigliere. And then at 10 to midnight East, it's Sports Rage with Gabe Morency and his boy, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, live. And on SportsGrid Radio from 8 to 10, it's Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio all night long, like you read about. All right, into the second hour, and we are still talking about baseball, what's going to go on tonight, and get Carver High's taters. And by the way, Estevez got out of the jam, bases loaded after the balk, nobody out, and it's still 2-2 in Brewtown.
I'm watching. I flipped on the Cubs and the A's in Sacramento, so I threw that on. I want to see what the place looked like in the afternoon. I've been watching the last few nights because there's been so many homers. This Seiya Suzuki on the Cubs, he just hit a ball. I mean, this thing might land in San Francisco. He might have hit that ball back to Oakland. That's how hard Suzuki just hit this ball off of Springs. I mean, it was a moonshot over the left field wall. I mean, there's like a parkway back there. I think he hit that clubhouse that he was running to the other night during the game. That's out in center field. I think that's where Suzuki hit it. He knew he could pick the ball up when he goes back there later to get dressed. What a shot. 4-0 Cubs here early on against the A's in Sacramento. Yes, we have games tonight that we can get to. Let's start with the Red Sox and the Orioles. They are playing at Camden tonight. It'll be Garrett. Don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet. Taking on Zach Eflin this evening. Red Sox favorite tonight, minus $1.25. It's at plus 105 for the Orioles, and a 7.5.
I'm going to take Crockett, your boy Crochet. They gave him all that money. He's got to go out and win because they've looked terrible so far. They're 1-4. I think he can beat Eflin and show up for all that money they're giving him.
You would hope so, especially after getting that big paycheck. You better go out and pitch well in your next start after it. The Rockies are in Philadelphia against the Phillies again this evening. They had an off day yesterday after the Monday win for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler and Kyle Freeland tonight. Here's your heavy lumber game of the night. Geez, minus 350 for the Phillies tonight, plus 270 for the Rockies, and a 7.5.
Yeah, I'm run lining the Phillies at minus $1.30, and I'm going over 7.
Over 7 for them tonight. I could see some runs down in Philadelphia. A little bit of a cold night, but that's okay. We should be able to get a few across. The Diamondbacks still in the Bronx against the Yankees. It'll be Zach Gallon of Milk and Carlos Rodon. Yankees minus 135, plus $1.15 for the Snakes, and a 7.5.
I'll go back to the Yankees. I had the D-backs last night, and I hit that game, luckily, And then I'm going to go back to Rodon and the Yankees tonight. I think the Yankees have looked really good. Even last night, they had that game and then gave up the Malkin Suarez Grand Slam breakfast. That was the difference. Otherwise, the Yankees would have won that game too. I'll take the Bombers tonight.
And finally, light night, of course, because we have so many afternoon games going today. The Braves will look to avoid the sweep in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. The bad news for them is they're going to face Blake Snell tonight. Bryce Elder goes for Atlanta. Minus 250 for the Dodgers, so some pretty good lumber there too. Plus 2 bills for the Braves and an 8.5 total.
Yeah, I'll still go Dodgers here. Run line minus $1.30. Or I'm going to go Rogie Vachon and take the under 8 runs for even money.
The Braves will finally go home on Friday against the Marlins. Man, they can't wait to see the Marlins on Friday with the start that they've had. They've had just a miserable start to the season. Not a bad start for the Taters so far this year. Last night was a little tough, but there was a few that we mentioned off menu that ended up coming through. Let's get to tonight. Limited slate, only 4 games this evening, but we're still going to try and go after a few. Now, look.
It doesn't matter. You could do it with 2 games. You'd still end up making people money.
I'm starting by taking a shot here. Now, I don't normally want to take guys who have started the season 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. But there's 2 things here for me tonight with Rafael Devers that maybe we can see him turn some things around. First of all, he's 6 for 16 with 2 home runs off of Zach Eflin in his career. So he's hit the pitcher very well. That could be a good sign for him. And here's the other thing. He's usually, Scotty, in the 300s, high 3s, low 4s. And his price has now dropped because of his awful start to plus 500. So because of the price and because of the history, we'll start Tater time with Rafi Devers against Baltimore tonight, down at Camden Yards, plus 500 for him. We will go with Trey Turner. Why? 7 for 33. Not great. 212. He's seen Kyle Freeland a lot, but he's got a bunch of bombs off of him. So maybe we'll get another one here. Plus 450 for Trey Turner against Freeland and the Rockies down at the bank. Next, Ketel Marte. Remember the year he had last year, Scotty? Huge year. He was right in the running for NL MVP with how good he was for the Diamondbacks. He's actually been quiet so far. No homers yet for him. We've got Rodon on the mound tonight who gives up homers. I think Marte gets off the board. Plus 400 for Ketel Marte and the Diamondbacks. And my weather people have told me that the wind is blowing out to right field at Chavez Ravine tonight. That's what my weather people have told me. I check in with weather people before I get the Taters together for the day. So we're going with a couple of lefties against Bryce Elder. Shohei, little chalky, but who cares? Plus 265. And Max Muncy at plus 400 as we'll try to go Tater time into the right field bleachers with that wind blowing out there this evening. Devers, Turner, Marte, Ohtani, and Muncy, Scotty. Let's go.
That is just fantastic. I want to see another Judge home run tonight as well. And I want to see a Schwarbaum home run tonight. And I think all of your home run picks are beautiful as usual.
Yes, and hopefully we can get involved this evening. Big night, limited slate. Who cares? Let's go and make it happen. All right, we will come back. We'll start Golf Wednesday. We've got Cam next as the Valero Texas Open, the gasoline tournament, and a final ticket to Augusta available. If someone doesn't have it yet, this is the last chance to get one. I got my whole card is guys who don't have a ticket for Augusta. So let's go.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday. And yes, you know it's true. A golf Wednesday on C2C as we get ready. Final event before the Masters. And we take that trip down Magnolia Lane. The Valero Texas Open, of course, at TPC San Antonio, the Oaks course. And every week, our man, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, is with us as we get ready for the picks, the outrights, the placements, the first-round leaders, etc., etc. Cam, good to see you, as always, my man, and we get ready for the gasoline tournament, as Scotty called it.
The gasoline Valero, fill the tank. I will say this, Carver, your bank account got a little bit filled, not with gasoline, but with currency. Shout out to you for 2 first-round leaders. I know you got sawed off, but that's golf. And also the outright with Minwoo Lee. I rode you guys a little bit, you and K-Stu. Congratulations to Keith Stewart as well and everybody else that had Minwoo Lee, but not as hard as you guys, but great pick, by the way. Excellent. Wasn't easy. What a sweat job.
It was a sweat job. I honestly thought that Scheffler was going to get him, and you know that at the end. And even Gary Woodland was pushing pretty hard there, but we were able to get him across the line. And that's the great thing about Golf Wednesday, Cam, is we've had weeks where it's been me, it's been you, it's been Stewie, Brady's been involved, everybody. Yep. It seems like at least one of us, sometimes a few of us, crack something, whether it's a first-round leader or an outright, on a weekly basis. So Golf Wednesday continues to churn here. Let's talk about the gasoline tournament. And I had Stewie yesterday because he couldn't come on today. Weird tournament, Cam, because you've got at the top of the board all the heavies, the Obergs and the Fleetwoods and Cantlay and all these guys who are final tune-up before the Masters, want to get the game sharp before heading to Augusta. And then you have about 119 guys in the field who do not have a ticket to Augusta, and this is their last chance to try to get one. Interesting field.
Yeah, you know what, Carver? I was wrong last week, too. I worried about, the chalk, but in the end, Scheffler was there and stuff. They're fine-tuning their game, but they're just that damn good. So I'm with you, though. But, Aberg, he's one of those guys. Sure, he can win, but I'd rather go in different markets. Corey Connors loves this course. Tommy Fleetwood checks all the boxes. He just doesn't win in North America. That's he's a
loser.
top 10,
He's
top 20 guy.
That's fine. That's fine. Top 10s and top 20 winner. Outright, he's a loser. He never wins. And I'm not betting him until I see him actually win for it. All right, here's what I'm doing this week, Cam. I love a good storyline. I'm going for it. I'm playing all guys who aren't in Augusta, and they have to win in order to get themselves there. I'm staying away from the real top of the board, and I'm going right into guy. Believe it or not, the highest guy on the board who does not have a ticket to Augusta is Siwoo Kim. He's not in the field next week for the Masters. 35-1 for Siwoo. Let's see if he's got a little gumption to get himself going this week and get him back to Augusta. Bud Cauley, very popular this week, but I'll stay with it. 55-1. Bermuda Ben Griffin. Man, he's like percentage points, Cam. 51st in the OGR, and he did not make it. Now he's got to go and try to win this. Jake Afternoon Knapp needs a seat. He's 70-1. He's been playing okay. Ricky Fowler doesn't have a seat. 80-1 for him. And Ryan Crazy Like a Fox needs a victory to get to Augusta. 90-1 for him.
It's a great angle, Carver. Let's talk about history. Corey Connors won this tournament, got a ticket to the Masters. J.J. Spawn won the tournament, got a ticket to the Masters. So it's actually an angle in the past that has worked. I'm going with Jordan Spieth. Want to know why? I know this sounds crazy. He's probably waiting for Augusta, but he's getting 28-1. And in this field, I think he's got a great chance. He plays well at this course, too. Dangerous Denny McCarthy could be too popular, but I'm on him. This guy checks all the boxes for me. Sam Stevens, another good win player. He's at 52-1. I'm with you. I love Bud Cauley. He's actually a very, very good golfer. Major injury problems, but he's getting his form back hard. And Ryan Crazy Like a Fox as well. I also looked at Knapp and a couple other guys too. So let's not take a dirt nap this week, Carver. Let's win money and roll it all into the Masters.
I think Bud Cauley is a rare 4-for-4 Golf Wednesday. Me, you, Keith, and Brady, I think, all have Bud Cauley on the card. So that's a 4-for-4 Golf Wednesday. Hopefully we can get him across the line. All right, here's the placements. Corey Connors has won here twice. As you mentioned, top 5 plus 320 for him. I do like Jordan Spieth this week, Cam. In fact, it wouldn't stun me if he won and torpedoed his price for the Masters, which is still hanging around 28 or 30-1, plus 200 for a top 10. Dangerous Denny, top 10 at plus 240. Lost in a playoff to Akshay last year. Gary Woodland needs it. Top 20 at plus 180. I don't think he'll putt as well this week. Rico Hoey at top 20 at plus 220. And one of your old friends, Rio Hizatsun at plus 360 for a top 20.
I was betting Hizatsu when people are like, who the hell is this guy? And now he's actually playing pretty well, Carver. I'm going to go with some guys. Carver's loser, Tommy Fleetwood for a top 10, plus 175. The Prime Minister with some Canadian content and double C, Corey Connors. He loves this course. Daniel Berger, not sure if he's going to win, but I love that top 20. Tom Kim getting a nice price, plus 150 for a top 20. Hoagie Sandwich, I've got some top 40s, only plus 105, but Hoagie will play well this week. He actually could contend. And Eric Cole, our old buddy, is playing good golf right now, Carver. Top 40, plus 110. Sign me up.
I believe he needs it too, Cam. He's not in the Masters field either, Eric Cole. So he needs to get on his horse and win if he wants to be back down Magnolia Lane. First round leaders for me. Corey Connors loves the place too much, 33-1. Denny McCarthy at 45-1. Ben Griffin at 60. Jake Knapp at 60. Hoagie, I got him there too, Cam. Hoagie at 75-1. How about a little Valimaki at 90-1? He's usually a fast starter, and I love EVR on courses like this, 100-1 for being a big Thursday warrior.
Love it. We have a few of the same guys. I'm going with Fleetwood, first round leader out of the gate, 32. Corey Connors, you have him, I have him, 33. Kashmir Keith played well last week, 60-1. Afternoon Nap, notorious hot starter. Patrick Rogers, where have you been? Show up and give me some money at 80. Old King Cole, 90-1. And Sammy Valimaki, I got a smooth 100. Cousin plays for the Utah Hockey Club. For people that don't know, the Valamakis, sporting legends.
The Valamakis getting involved. Cam, let's go. Our final stop before next week, our first major of the year. Of course, me and you will probably need 2 next week to get through all the plays, because I'm sure we'll have some exotics, some nationality props, the lefty, top debutante, all of it for the Masters. Cam Stewart, the Prime Minister. We're back coast to coast after this.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so I just saw something, Carver High, in the midst of all the great golf analysis and picks and tickets to make money at the Gasoline Alley Open. And by the way, my buddy's going to the Final Four. My boy, the Sniper, is going with his wife and another couple down to San Antonio to the Final Four. And I was balling with him this morning. I said, you're there till Tuesday. What are you going to do on Sunday? He goes, I don't know, drink. I go, well, why don't you do it on the golf course at TPC in San Antonio? Because the Gasoline Alley Open is going on, and you can get ducats to that and go watch the PGA right there in San Antonio. And he's like, that is just a magnificent idea. I said, you'll have a good time. So I was watching the Giants and Astros, speaking of Valdez, and guess who? Again, Flores, another home run for the Giants. They're up 2-0. This guy is just going off. He's already equaled his home run total from all of last season, Mike.
He has gotten out to a very hot start, and he's hitting some big home runs for them. Gets them cooking today in Houston.
Speaking of gas.
A fast 2-0 lead for them. Elsewhere, of course, because we're keeping you updated on everything that's happening. 4-0 Cubs lead the A's. 2-0 Jays lead the Nats. Scoreless everywhere else. Final now. Brewers did win that game in 11. 3-2. Turang reached on a bunt single, and that got the winning run home in that game. And they're still waiting through the rain in Chicago for the Twins and the White Sox. They're running about almost 3 hours now of a delay there. So you got to figure it out at some point.
It's play the night game. I mean, let's go. What is it, 3:25 in Chicago? Can we just play ball at some point?
Somewhere around there, indeed. All right, let's get into the NBA now. And we've got a lot of games tonight, but a few ridiculous performances last night that we need to talk about, including one in a loss. We'll start with that. Timberwolves beat the Nuggets 140-139 in double overtime. Joker had 61, a 61-point triple-double, 10 boards, 10 dimes. He hit 6 threes. He was 19 of 24 from the line. He played 53 minutes, but as you always like to say, you lose. You lose. You're glad you filled the stat sheet, but guess what? You lose. That's just how it goes. Now, here's the end of this game. Now, a lot of people, of course, are going to get on Russ because Russ did not have a good finish at either end in the final seconds of this game on TNT.
Gordon is there, and he threw it away. It's a turnover. 2-on-1. Brown, Westbrook, no. Rebound Alexander Walker. Final seconds. Here we go. Conley the other way. Edwards looks at the clock. Drives, feeds, forwards.
They got a foul.
They got
a foul on the three-point shot.
Listen, I got to tell you, Mike. So he fouled. The guy made 2 of 3, and that's how the game ended. But I told you the story a million times. I had 36 in a game one night and lost, and Chop said, "You lose. You suck. You didn't win. You can't talk about your big performance if you don't win." I will say, though, anyone that was the highest point, productivity-wise game of anyone this year in the NBA, 61 piece. This guy is unbelievable. It really is absurd because they're going to give the MVP to Shai Gilgeous, but this guy's numbers this year, Joker, are better than any year that he won his 3 MVPs. His numbers are better now than all the years that he was the MVP. So now he's setting ungodly numbers, and he's not going to win the MVP. It's almost like the year that JoJo didn't win it, and then the next year he did win it with worse numbers. Like, it was unbelievable because I had a ticket from heaven on that year that he didn't win it. And then same thing here. This guy has outrageous numbers, and he's not going to be the MVP. Let's just say it for what it is. Shai Gilgeous is going to get it. But like Gabe said, I think Joker's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. We always look at people's stats like years from now. You're going to look back at Joker's career and you're going to go, why the hell didn't he win that year? Those are his best numbers.
I mean,
didn't he MVP that season? That's what you're going to do.
Time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I'm giving out financials about college costs, and Carver High grabbed his tie in the break and started wrapping it around his neck because his future is so bleak with the Bills. What you need to do, Carver High, here's a tip. You know what I mean? Like, keep them in state. Like, just force them. Like, the rest of their childhood, just keep telling them how great it is, St. John. How great it is, Iona. Just greatest school. Don't let them leave the state, man. Do not let them leave the state.
I'm not even thinking about it yet.
Well, you better start thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not. I got way too many other problems before I start getting to that. That's for sure.
It's coming.
Right. Next, here's Ant. Let's clean up this game from last night. Basically says, yeah, we won, but that was the most ridiculous performance I've ever seen in my life.
That might have been the best game of my life, that I've been a part of. Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen, close up. Besides myself, bro. He's incredible, bro. The MVP race is tough, man. I don't know. He had 60. That was crazy.
He's better than you. Let me just say something. I saw the story today. Now, I don't know if it's true, but it was so beautiful. I just got to admit. So did you see what this guy did? He apparently had a baby with this chick, and he don't even love her at all. He had a kid, and he paid off the entire child support payments through by law through 18, and gave this chick allegedly, it's all over the news, gave her $1 million plus and said, literally, unofficially, allegedly, don't ever come near me again with you or that kid. Here's your money. Have at it. Take your money and run, because I don't want nothing to do with either one of you. Literally, that's what he did. He gave her over $1 million plus and said, F off. And then they showed her, and they showed the baby and all this other stuff. And this guy's like, I want no part of this. And he learned his lesson the hard way. Your boy pulled out $1 million plus, Carver High, and paid her off. I mean, you got to be kidding me. That is fantastic. He's like, I just want to play ball. I don't want any kids. I don't want to, but I think it's weak. You don't want any part of the kid's life. That is weak, but that's him. That's not me. So you want to blame somebody, blame him. But that's what he did. And I got to tell you, it is a strong arm move. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, it's
take the money, get out of my life. Don't ever come near me again.
Sad. To be quite honest, it's sad for me. That's just, it's.
Now all of a sudden you have feelings. You've always been a guy
that
never really.
Sad. I mean, it's just
the poor kid. I feel bad for the kid, but the kid.
I've changed.
10 years from now, he's going to learn the hard way. His daddy's on TV making a lot of money.
I've changed. Since I've had kids, I've changed my thoughts on a lot of these things. That's just sad. What he's got going on.
Are you
there.
going soft on me all of a sudden?
I guess so.
At the lodge up in the mountains, you've lost your rough edge.
Sad. The Warriors beat the Grizz 134 to 125. Steph Curry, how about him? Also a good game, but he won. 52 points, 10 boards, 8 dimes. He hit 12 threes. What? NBC Sports Bay Area.
From the second quarter on, Memphis has been the better team. Curry has been the better player. Steph for the three. He's got 10. Curry doing everything tonight. Beautiful steal. Wanted that three in transition. Step back and got it. Okay. He's got 11 made threes. Looking for a Steph relocate. Corner three. Got it. He's got 12 threes.
Your boy, the Fitz, with the call on the Dubs TV network. You got to love it. Curry just lighting it up again. You know what's amazing about him is I didn't even have the gall to send it to you, but he has every single 3-point record in the history of the NBA. Most two times over, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times, 12 times. He has done more damage from downtown than literally he is downtown. He is the definitive downtown Julie Brown. I mean, honestly, he's got it all going, every record ever. Downtown Julie Brown.
He really does. And he just keeps going. Here's Kerr. Like, I think Kerr kind of sums it up pretty well here. It's amazing that you still just get these monster performances from him with how long he's been around. Here he is.
I mean, the guy's 37 years old. It's incredible. 52 points with people draped all over him all game long. The conditioning, the skill, the audacity, the belief. It's just incredible to watch Steph at work. I mean, I can't believe he's still doing this at this age, but he's put the work in and he's still got it.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. I'm not surprised. I am not so thrown from the boat that guys that are 37 still light it up, or guys like LeBron that are 40 still light it up. Like, I understand they're in the NBA and they're magnificent star players. I get that. But like, my broke ass is 60 almost and this summer, and I'm still playing basketball. I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, honestly, I know a lot of guys that play, a ton of guys that play in their 40s, 50s, and 60s still play basketball and are really good at it, and that can fill it up, and that play and have the cardio, and they have all of it. The game, the passing, the shooting, the rebounding, the screens, everything. This guy, he's the greatest shooter ever, and he's still doing. What's the big deal? What is the big deal that he's 37? Everyone acts like 37 is old. I am literally almost twice his age. What is the big deal? You know what this guy can do? He could literally retire in 5 years and still go down to the YMCA and drop 60 a day. He'll never stop shooting a basketball the rest of his life. All he's going to do is become one of those old, famous ex-players that's in the Hall of Fame, that's a legend, that shows up at games, just like his dad did. His dad shows up at games. His dad was never as good as he is. And his brother is the lost soul. Like, they don't even care about his broke ass. This guy, Steph Curry, can play forever. I think he can keep playing. What is the deal? Like, he's done now at 37? Why? Why not keep playing until he's 40, 41? Why not? No one can stop him. He shoots at will from anywhere, and he keeps his mind and his body in perfect condition. What's the problem? How the F am I playing ball? I had open heart surgery. How am I playing ball? Like, I play ball today. I was dropping buckets all day, and I suck, and I'm still good, and I'm still playing. How is a guy that's that great? They act like he's 100 years old. He's 37, for Christ's sakes. Keep going, boy.
Still getting
Seriously.
it done. Bulls smashed the Raptors 137-118. The Bulls clinched their spot in the play-in tournament. Raptors are finished. The Knicks beat the Sixers 105-91. I think this is fast. Squeeze this in, Luke. This OG dunk was ridiculous on MSG last night.
Doesn't get it, but Anunoby does. Anunoby down a leg, and the flush. Another power dunk from OG Anunoby to lead back up to 15.
Look at the players are flabbergasted. Like, how did he do that?
I hope I get to see some of that on Sunday. Honestly, I'm finally going to a Knicks game. It only costs about a dime to go to a Knicks game. So I'm going to the Knicks, and I'm sitting front row. Let's go.
Let's go. We'll come back, finish it up, and then get into tonight's games, including Knicks and Cavs in Cleveland tonight.
In the land?
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Just for the sake of it, Carver, hi. I'm not certain if I'm accurate on this or not, but your boy DeCourcy, Mike DeCourcy, with some travel issues going to San Antonio for the Final Four. There's some weather problems and delays and this and that. I don't think he's going to make it today. But let's just say I hope he has a good time at the Final Four, which you know he will, in San Antonio off the Riverwalk, Alamo Dome, Saturday night. The Twin Bill, plus the Gasoline Alley Open going on down there at TPC. It is ridiculous right now in San Antonio. We continue on with the NBA from last night and the games that went down.
We certainly are with the games that went down last night. Last couple, Portland beat Atlanta 127-113. Magic beat the Spurs, and the Bucks beat the Suns by 10, 133-123 there in that one. You sent me this note about the Rockets. Since Ime Udoka became the head coach, they lead the league in, these are some categories you want to lead the league in: ejections, technical fouls, coach techs, disqualifications. They lead the league in all of those. The Rockets, everybody thinks the Pistons are the team, the toughest team in the league, that's the rowdiest team. No, it's the Rockets who get the most techs and the most ejections.
The thing is, Mike, I think eventually at some level this is going to catch up to you, right? Like, so I think in the postseason when it's ratcheted up and there's more pressure and every possession counts and it becomes a half-court game, the violence goes up. The banging, the fouling, the arguing, the complaining, the technicals, everything, I think, gets more intense. And I think this will come back to haunt them. Because I think they're a really good team. I think they're dangerous. I think they can beat anybody. I think they're fun to watch. They're young. They're dynamic. But I think at the end of the day, the reason I'll eliminate them is exactly why I sent you that story today. They got all these issues with the refs and fighting and tax and ejections. And at some level, they're doing that when the games don't even matter, Mike. When they're just regular season games, what do you think they're going to do in the playoffs? When he's screaming and yelling at the refs, he's going to get thrown out of games. They're going to lose. They're going to get eliminated because of it.
It's probably what's going to happen once they get to that point. And they are going to have some serious playoff basketball games coming up very soon. Here is who would play who if the season ended today. Now, if it ended today, the play-in tournament would be Minnesota and the Clippers, would be Dallas and Sacramento. In the other East would be Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, and Chicago. Knicks would play Milwaukee, Indiana, Detroit in the regular first round. Denver, Memphis, Lakers, Warriors. But that changes daily, of course.
So I think the Bulls, they automatically clinched that play-in spot last night with their win, right? So they're in no matter what.
East is set. It's just the kind of the positioning at this point. You know, the Raptors are not officially eliminated because if they win every game and the Heat lose every game, I believe they would finish with the same record. Not happening. Heat are going to be in the play-in, etc. So that's kind of where that's at.
Who do you think wins the Lakers and Dubs? How violent will that be?
Man, I think if it was today, I'd probably take the Warriors. If it was today, I think I would take the Warriors. Yeah, I think I would.
You'll take Steph and Jimmy Lymphoma and Dre and Kuminga and Podziemski and this team over LeBron, Reeves, and Luka. I mean, to tell you, this guy Luka Doncic doesn't lose big games. He doesn't lose on the world stage. He doesn't lose in the NBA. Look at last year; he took him to the finals.
I'm hoping that it can, and it's going to keep moving around. I hope they don't play each other in the first round because I'd rather see that a little further down the line. I'd like to see them play each other, not in the first round, like in the
right now it looks
second
like first round.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to end this way. I mean, it changes nightly because of how close it is. You know, Denver and the Lakers with 29 losses, Golden State 31, Memphis 32, Minnesota 32, Clippers 32. It just switches around so much that, you know, the matchups in the West are way too far out to even know if that's how it's going to finish out.
You know, let me just say this. Lastly, is that they jumped Memphis last night by beating them, right?
Yep.
And then how about your boy, am I crazy? This guy, my man Ja, is having a bad day. They're coming down on him again. The NBA's all over him for the pointing the gun fingers last night after that game at FedEx. He pointed double-barreled guns at the Warriors bench, and they were all like, what is with this guy?
Did you see Draymond?
Green? Yeah, I saw Draymond. But now today, the NBA is looking into it, and they've already had enough problems with this cat with the guns. And then the fact that he did that now, I don't know how he's going to explain it away. I love Ja Morant. I love his game. I really do. He's got some serious issues growing up. I think it's just the weirdest thing what he does, his behavior. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing on this? You lose the game. You've been, reeling. They've lost 7 of 8, and they lost 3 straight. And then the game's over, and you're at home, and you're pointing fingers like they're guns and shooting people after the game at the other team. Like, it's just not gonna work anymore, bro. You got to stop with all the Glocks and guns and mafia tough guy stuff, the street stuff. It's got to stop. It really does. He's a great player. I love his game. And I just think that he's got some issues, bro.
Yeah, if there's with what he's already been through with the league, that's just not the guy that should be doing
What's
that.
What's he doing?
But like Draymond looks at the ref. He's like, "You looking at this?" He's like, "You see what's going on here?" Because that's, I believe, supposed to be a tech or whatever it's supposed to be in the game. So, no dice. But he's gonna be in trouble now because he has past history with such things. Past history.
on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So we got a bunch of games tonight that we got to hit.
Yeah, we'll start with the first game of the TV doubleheader. That would be the Knicks and the Cavs in Cleveland. So the Knicks, they're going to be shorthanded again tonight. Still no Brunson, no McBride, no Payne, no Mitchell Robinson either this evening. 10.5 for the Cavs here. 230.5 the total.
Yeah, I like Cleveland at home at the Rocket. I think they're too tough. In fact, I would like them even if the Knicks were loaded. If they were full, roster, everybody's good to go. Because, and I'm just going to say it now, anything could happen, but they never beat good teams. Like they beat all the teams that don't matter. They don't beat good teams. I think the Knicks are really good, except when they play good teams. Give me the Cavs at home.
10.5's a lot, man. That's a big number tonight in that game.
Well, they're just not respecting that Knicks roster tonight.
No, they certainly aren't. Hornets are in Indiana against the Pacers. Another, you talk about lumber, 15.5. There's a lot of these tonight. 222.5 the total.
I mean, Charlotte's licking stamps. I'd probably lay it with the Pacers here. This is going to get ugly at the field house, to be honest.
The Kings are in D.C. against the Wiz tonight. More lumber. 13.5 on the road for Sacramento. 231.5 the total.
A little different here for me on the road. I'm going to take the Wizards at Capital One with a 13-burger against the Kings. I think the Kings can win this game, but I think the Wizards are going to be in the game.
The Heat are in Boston tonight against the Celtics. Celtics minus 10.5, 211.5 the total.
They're going for what, 10 in a row? They're going to whack the Heat tonight is what they're going to do.
Utah is in Houston against the Rockets, who we were talking about before. This is, it's actually not. It's one of the heavy lumber games of the night, but not the biggest spread. 16.5 for the Rockets, 228.5 the total.
Well, have we not been watching this team get, impaled? I mean, they lost the other night, 140 to 103. They're going to get impaled tonight in Houston at the Toyota. They're going to literally be impaled.
The Hawks are in Dallas against the Mavericks tonight. Dallas minus 3.5, 239.5 the total. Big total.
I mean, they are getting guys back, right? Like they're at home and they're getting some of their guys back in the lineup. Can they win a game? I mean, come on. Like, I'm on Dallas here, laying the 4. Atlanta played last night and got whacked at home by Portland. Now they got to go there.
Now they got to go there. Spurs are in Denver against the Nuggets. Denver minus 9.5, 231.5 the total.
Well, you would think that Denver would win this game by 10 or more, but, I mean, they played double overtime last night. Double overtime last night on the road and flew home. Why am I – it's screaming to me to take the 9.5 with the Spurs.
It's a lot of big numbers here tonight around the league. Another one. Pistons are in OKC against the Thunder. This is on TV tonight, actually, on ESPN. Thunder minus 13.5, 233.5 the total.
I mean, they never lose, right? They just never lose at home. Forget it at the pick-em. They never lose. But this one, like, is this not the game that the Pistons are, like, trying to prove that they belong in? Is this not the game you go to OKC and you say, all right, we know how good you are, but watch what we can do too. How about this ends up being a great game and the Pistons cover to 13?
It's possible. Remember, this is also, they played in Detroit a couple weeks ago. Remember, this was the game where Bickerstaff, not that he's on a lot of these, but was complaining about how many calls SGA was getting. His team was getting no calls. Let's see if that turns some things around. Probably get worse. And finally, this is the heavy lumber game of the night. The Pelicans getting 17.5 at the Intuit against the Clippers. 18.5 is the total. 218.
Yeah, I think the Clippers win this game by 25. I really do.
25. Look out. Yeah, look, the Pelicans have completely, you talk about letting go of the rope. I mean, they have completely let go of the rope. Padres are on the board here in San Diego.
I'm watching it.
Time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.